Today, I'd really like to talk to you about fear. Now, fear is a really strange thing, but it happens to all of us at some point in our lives. It's a very irrational emotion. It's a bit like when we were kids and we were scared of the monster under the bed. As adults, we know that there is no monster there, but as a child, I remember lying in bed at night absolutely petrified that something was going to grab my foot if it slipped out beneath my duvet. Fear can hold us back from leading our best life. It can stop us from going for those goals that we really want, like that promotion that we'd love to go for, but we're too scared because we're worried that we might fail. Or maybe we want to work more flexibly, but we're really worried about speaking to our manager about it in case we don't like the answer. Or perhaps you've been in a job for years and you're just bored silly, but you're too scared to move forward. You just think, oh well, it's only 15 years till retirement, I'll just stick it out. It's a no to all of those. You don't have to do that. You can go for those things if you really want to. You just need to be able to conquer your fear. So what I'd like you to try and do now is to think about a situation when you were really, really scared and you didn't want to do it and everything was telling you, no, I can't do it, but you did it and you succeeded. Try and remember what that fear felt like at the time, all the emotions that were going through your head and the physical feelings as well. Like, did your heart stop beating faster? Did your throat come constricted? Did your hands get all sweaty and clammy? Then think about the trigger that actually made you think, no, I'm going to go for it. I'm going to do it. Forget about those things. I'm going to conquer it. And then most importantly, what did you feel like when you did it and you succeeded? I'd imagine pretty great. But was it good enough for you to realise that you can use that feeling and help you to do the other things in life that you're really scared about? Next, I want you to think about something when things went slightly wrong, when they didn't go to the plan. What did you feel like at the time? How did it happen? What could you have actually done to make sure that it didn't happen? Could you have done something differently? Could you have gone at it from a different angle? What were the repercussions of it going wrong? Are you still feeling embarrassed about it now? Are people still talking about it now? Or has everybody else forgotten about it and you're the only one that's still worrying about it? And really, what is the point of worrying about it now other than the fact that it's going to stop you from moving forward? So what I'd like you to do is think about two things that you can use to help you overcome fear. One of them is to create a fear list. This is quite a simple thing to do. And what I'd like you to write down is everything in life that you really want to do, but you're absolutely too scared to do. So it might be that you've been on a career break for the last 5 years, bringing up your kids, caring for a relative, and you want to go back to work, but you're just too scared. Or perhaps you've just been made redundant and you've been doing the same job for years and your industry, as many industries have at the moment, has gone under and you can't go back and do that and you need to go and do something else. You're fearful that you've not got the skills to do that. Or maybe you're somebody in their 40s or 50s who just wants to try something new, or you've got a problem at work that you're desperate to talk to your manager about, but you're worried about the repercussions if you do. Write those all down. Then write down all the worst case scenarios that could happen if you followed through with those things. And I'm sure that you could think of 1,000,001 things that would go wrong. Then, once you've done that, write down how you could stop those things going down, what you could put in place to make sure that they don't go wrong. So for instance, you might have been at home for the last 5 years looking after your kids and you basically run the house. It's up to you to make sure the kids are at school on time, that they go to all their clubs, that they're fed, they're clothed, everything. If you weren't there, what would happen? In your head, probably the entire house would fall down. But it probably wouldn't if you looked at options that you could put in place to make sure that they didn't happen. You could talk to your partner about sharing the load. You could organise shared picking up with your friends. There's lots of things that you can do. So once you've worked out the worst case scenario, then work out how you can stop the worst case scenario from happening. Then I want you to think about what will happen if you do it and you succeed. How great will you feel then? And finally, I want you to look at what will happen if you don't do anything and you're still in the same situation in 5 years' time. How would that make you feel? Now, fear of failure is something that we all are afraid of because it's the unknown and nobody likes the unknown. But if you make a plan and you work out all the different options that could happen, then it's not going to be so scary because you know what all the outcomes can be. I mean, you might not be able to plan every single outcome, but at least you'll have a really good idea. And if it doesn't work, at least you'll know why it doesn't work. So next time you think about going for a job, think about the worst case scenarios and then think about all the things you can do to make sure that those case scenarios don't happen. Another thing you can do is to set goals. Now, a lot of people don't like setting goals because if you don't meet the goal, then you see that as failure. Well, that is true, but don't set yourself a massive goal. Don't try and climb Mount Everest in one go. Set yourself a little target. Just get to base camp first. Maybe take a scenic route along the way. By building little goals, you're helping to build up your confidence. It's a little bit like trying to cross a river. You can see the bank on the other side, but it looks really, really scary. There are stepping stones along the way, but wow, that water's going really fast in between. So look at each stepping stone individually, take one foot after another, and just focus on that one stepping stone in front of you. That's the same as setting goals. Set little goals that map out your route that you want to go. And when you get halfway along, you can look back and go, wow, look at all the things I've done. And actually, it's not that far away from the bank on the other side. And wow, doesn't it look great over there? So next time you want to go for that promotion, reach out and reach for the stars. If you want that flexible working pattern, go and ask your manager because you never know, they might say yes. So next time you're too scared to do something, remember to look at your checklist. Think about all the worst case scenarios there are, work out what you can do to stop them from happening. Think about how fabulous you will feel if you do it. And think about how rubbish you'll feel if you don't do it and you're still sitting in the same place in 5 years' time. Remember, there can always be some things that you can't control and life can be a little bit scary. But just remember how exciting it can be if you do just give yourself that little nudge to push yourself forward. So next time you think you hear a monster under the bed, go and have a look because I bet there's nothing there. Unless, of course, you've got mice. In which case, you are entitled to panic. My name's Charlotte and I'm from Charlotte Worth Coaching. If you found this video useful, then please press the like button. If you'd like to hear more, then please press subscribe and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye-bye.